Wow, I cannot believe we are actually getting Project Plus 3.0. After all the years in this period of Project Plus's meta, it's finally beginning to mature. It's like a baby growing up. But you're gonna wanna stay tuned because this update is probably going to be one of the more controversial Project Plus updates, as, yeah, I'm sure you can guess there's a lot of changes. Be sure to let me know what you think of Project Plus 3.0 down below. The update is chock full of new content, new skins, stages, single player mode stuff, updates to the HUD, a bunch of balance changes, and this update actually has a lot of buffs and nerfs to Project Plus's whole cast. I actually don't normally make videos on updates, but this update is pretty massive, so I decided to make an exception. Now, I really couldn't resist. It's like a birthday cake. I mean, I can't wait to dig into this stuff. They actually managed to add a lot of stuff that the community has been wanting and asking for changes for years now. I'll be analyzing this type of stuff, honest content, just keeping it honest, okay? Some characters weren't changed at all. Some characters actually received a handful of updates, while others definitely got hit with the nerf hammer and were more extensively changed. Now, if you main Ness, Roy, or Mr. Game & Watch, raise your hand, because you just got scot-free from any changes at all. And I'm a Ness main, so this might mean the balance team is saying that Ness, Roy, and Game & Watch are the most balanced characters of the game. It's like we're Fortnite dancing to the sunset, I guess, here. But there is a little bit of an elephant to the room here, and that is the more good and bad changes in this update. When Project Plus first started rolling out a lot of these changes, a lot of these characters were hit pretty hard with the nerfs, like Snake and Game & Watch more specifically, and even Snake didn't avoid it this time around. Many characters got hit with the nerf hammer in this build, similarly to Snake and Game & Watch did in the past. But the buffs that characters got were pretty minimal. A lot of down throws got their combo potential toned down with increased amounts of knockback, making them less consistent. And I'm sure you can imagine the characters who probably were affected by this change. And KO power for certain characters have been toned down too. Even certain recoveries got shot down. This balance patch might be controversial for some people, as their mains might have gotten nerfed. Now let me know down below how you feel about this update, because I know some people are kind of split. It could just be people complaining and not warming up to these changes. It's a pretty human way to feel, but there's an incredible amount of content in this update that are pushing the boundaries of what a Smash game could truly do on a Nintendo Wii. And make sure to subscribe, by the way. There is plenty of new stages added in this update, and more importantly, an updated version of Bowser's Castle, which is less saturated with its colors, with a standardized platform layout and lacking the slants on the floor. And there's even plenty of other stage alts that exist in this update that are brand new. They all look pretty good. They have a nice design philosophy to them. The bigger changes were the more visual upgrades that many characters received. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these upgrades, the best skins I've ever seen for Pikachu and Zero Suit Samus, really shows the strength of the modding team. I mean, look at the fur on Pikachu. They even added a Team Rocket skin that is actually just peak. It shows the skills of PM's modding. And they even changed Zero Suit Samus's stanky alts in the past. All of her skins look completely different now. They look really good. Sonic got some new skins that represent the Sega Kid Sonic. Clone and Hex Maniac version of Ivysaur exist. And there's the Great Gonzalez Yoshi skins, which are peak costume design. There's updated HUD, character select screen, new event matches, and even a new double cherry item. Yes, the Ike Climbers are back, baby. The balance changes, now these might be a little bit more rapid fire and more minor changes. And then later on in the video, I will discuss some of the more major buffed and nerfed characters. Mostly nerfed, to be honest. Dedede has been the second lowest tiered character for a while now. While I still think this character doesn't need crazy amounts of buffs, and I think P+'s bottom tiers are very much viable, it's nice to see that he did get some changes either way. Up air has intangibility on his left arm, forward air and back air both have less frames of end lag, but they seem to have nerfed how long Dedede can hold opponents in his inhale before he has to let them go. And up special has quicker landing hitboxes. Ike's down air spike hitbox was removed, pretty big nerf there, and up air sweet spot hitboxes deal less damage. Down throw's angle was changed to 60 to 55. Eruption now gains armor every 30 frames, and whether it's held in the air and the ground. And his side special was given more landing lag, and it's intangible 3 frames later. Jigglypuff, who is currently the worst character in the game, got a couple of small buffs to her weight, going from 62 to 64, and her back throw deals more knockback. Ivysaur has a slightly larger shield and power shield size, while up smash has less base knockback, dash grab, actionable a couple frames later. Solar Beam takes 4% more to fully charge. Link is lighter, going from 104 to 99, and down air deals less damage. The catch animation for Boomerang is actionable faster by 5 frames. Toon Link's Boomerang has a similar change, and his bombs deal more damage and have a larger hit count. Fox's down air has a smaller hitbox. This is a nerf. Diddy Kong's forward air is stronger and his up smash hits easier. Diddy Kong got buffed. What are we doing? Luigi has more intangibility on his up smash, and Kirby's back air has more intangibility and a shorter grab range. Neutral B also is similar to King Dedede. It will forcefully spit out after a while. Mewtwo is also heavier in this build and he's less actionable out of his pivot grab. Olimar's Pikmin are now intangible on frame 1. This is actually a pretty massive buff in my opinion. It's going to make his aerials safer, and his reverse up special has less grab box frames. Marth's down air has more landing lag. Peach actually got a handful of buffs to her forward throw, dealing more knockback growth, and her aerial down B has more base knockback. Yoshi's grab is actionable slightly quicker. Pit's neutral B has 3 less active frames. That's actually kind of a nerf there. Zelda has a slightly more vertical speed on her side special with more acceleration. Squirtle's neutral B has more startup and more frames before it could be used again. This is definitely a nerf here. And the fully chargeable version has less range. Pikachu's back air has more base knockback. Captain Falcon has a smaller ledge grab box for his side B. Charizard's ledge grab box for his down special was reduced. Ganondorf's first hit of up tilt was removed and his standing grab animation was tweaked. Meta Knight's Nair has less actionable frames and has an extra frame of startup. His up air has slightly less range. This is a big nerf. This is definitely one of his best moves previously. And his up special has more end lag. Now here's the characters that got improved. Samus's fire down tilt has a slightly changed angle. Also ice forward smash, gaining more knockback, going from 85 to 95. Fire forward air has changed to resemble the melee iteration, and this means it's more of a combo extender this time around. Side special was changed to reset the fall speed, which means, yeah, you can do shuffle missiles now, which is actually probably going to be a crazy buff. I want to see how this is going to change Samus's meta long term. This could be really scary. I'm not going to lie though, Samus kind of deserves it. She's always just kind of been not really played that much, so it's cool to see her given this type of stuff. And her ledge attack over 100% has more active frames. Lucas was given some nice buffs, having a larger power shield side. His grab has increased range slightly, allowing for Lucas to grab taller characters when he's standing still. PK Freeze has a higher SDI multiplier, and his down special stalls vertical momentum after repeated uses. This never worked in previous updates, so this is actually a huge recovery buff. Although he did get a nerfed back air as it has less spike frames and more non-active spike frames. Up smash is stronger, although it has a less base knockback but higher knockback growth. And here are the characters who got nerfed more extensively. Wario's bite and up throw conversions were toned down, as up throw has more knockback, limiting its combo potential, and the bite hold animation lasts for a shorter duration. This is definitely going to nerf when people used to hold down this move when landing. Yeah, now you can't really do that as much. Similar to up throw, he has a higher amount of knockback on this throw too, so it limits its combo potential. Fully charged Waft has a slight damage nerf on its upward hitbox. The first hit of Knuckles' jab has 1 frame of less startup and is a frame less active. Up tilt's animation was modified and down tilt's base knockback and knockback growth were changed to 40 to 90, both previously being 60. Up smash is less active by a frame and Nair has less base knockback, and down air actually got a damage buff and less base knockback, but actually increased knockback growth going from 80 to 95. Forward air neutral B has an updated animation and it's active slightly later with a lower base knockback on the uppercut. Down throw got nerfed, as this is universal with a lot of down throws in this update. It has a higher amount of knockback, so it's going to be harder to confirm with it, and it's interruptible 19 frames after, which is actually a nerf as it was previously 10. Also, no surprise, Knuckles got a variety of recovery nerfs because he had one of the best recoveries in the previous update. For only being able to use down special once per airtime, up special goes slightly lower because Knuckles has less gravity and he can no longer do aerials after his second up special use in the air. Glide more specifically got nerfed, lasting for 30 less frames and has less aerial momentum, and especially after canceling a glide. But they do allow Knuckles to grab ledges with side special, but he can't stall on the ledge with this move, as if he tries to, yeah, you'll know what happens. If you were gonna nerf any character though in this update, most people assumed Knuckles was gonna get hit, and yeah, he did. Sonic got changed similarly to Knuckles. Slight angle changes to his up throw, and side special no longer refreshes on ledge grab. With a shrunken ledge grab box, down special is only usable once per airtime, similar to Knuckles, and up special has a similar nerf where you can only act out of this move once per airtime, so if you use up special twice, Sonic can't do anything out of it. Ice Climbers also got hit with plenty of nerfs. Their down throw has less knockback growth, slightly nerfing its combo utility. Squall Hammer has less aerial velocity with Sopo. Forward air got hit with a huge nerf, no longer being a spike. now just being a meteor, which means it's much easier to live after being hit by this move. This is pretty much nerfing Ice Climber's most consistent option off stage, so yeah, this is pretty obvious nerf here. The move also has tweaked base knockback and a buffed knockback growth. Donkey Kong received some nerfs to his startup on his jab, being a frame slower, and they changed his fair's late hit angle, going from 190 to 180. And surprise, surprise, the biggest nerf here is to it no longer being a spike, being changed to a meteor, which is going to make it harder to KO with this move. And this is no surprise, this was one of DK's best tools off stage. So yeah, this is definitely one of his best finishers being toned down. Cargo, forward throw, and back throw angles were changed to 65 to 55. I'm assuming these are slight nerfs to these moves' combo potential. Up special got nerfed, losing hitboxes on his knee and gaining an extra frame of startup, and his arms lost its intangibility at startup as well. These are also clearly recovery moves. Down special even got nerfed, having less hitboxes, being moved closer to DK, which nerfs this move's overall range, gaining less damage, less knockback, which is going to make it trickier to do follow-ups with this move. Its angle was even changed from 265 to 85. Lucario got hit with a lot of nerfs as well. Down air deals less damage on the first hit, pivot grab is actionable later, side special has increased startup by a frame, and the move has slightly more base knockback, but it has a huge amount of knockback growth nerf. Extreme speed has also increased any lag by 10 frames, and it's easier for Lucario to sweet spot the ledge while moving downward, which is actually kind of a neat buff. And a bigger nerf is Lucario no longer starts the match with an aura charge, but they did lower the amount of aura charge required per level, so there is a little bit of a plus negative there. Now, as somebody who secondaries Peach and PM and mains her in Melee, they did tone down her most consistent well-known combo throw, which was her down throw, and in PM, her back throw as well, giving both of these tools more knockback growth, which is a clear way to nerf these throws' viability. They aren't completely gutted, but they are slightly toned down. They're not as easy to use. Her dash grab has a smaller grab box. Up smash has a double hit on it now, but it does a lower amount of damage. And Mario also got hit with plenty of nerfs, being lighter, going from 100 to 95. Although he does have a slightly faster run speed, it's not by a lot. His up special has increased landing lag, and the ledge grab box height is reduced. His down special has less horizontal distance on it and has a slight animation tweak. This was to nerf his recovery off stage for sure. Snake got a nice buff to his forward smash, having a weaker first hit with less knockback growth that allows it to hit into its stronger third hit now, which has increased knockback, which is going to make this actually a better KO tool because it's a frame faster. Mine got a really interesting visibility change, and it adds a flashing beacon where you can see this move much easier. It's a cool change, easier for your opponent to see where down smash is being placed. This is a similar change to a previous update where they did this to Snake's down special, where they clearly made it more visible when you were getting sticky. You used to have to stare at the screen really hard and make sure you didn't get comboed by Snake. Even his down smash has less range, and his grab range was toned down too. Wolf even got a weight nerf from 85 to 80. Back throw got a new animation, which is actually kind of neat. It does have slight nerfs to its angle, giving it more knockback. Side special deals less damage and knockback growth on its sweet spot. The sour spot has more knockback growth but less base knockback. Also, his laser has much less range. This is also a huge nerf to Wolf. Zero Suit Samus, in a lot of people's opinion, was actually the true best character in the last update of the game. I know she technically was second on the tier list, but most people thought she was just better than MonteRicard, which is why, no surprise, she got nerfed, having larger hurt boxes that make her easier to hit, getting a weight nerf from 85 to 79. Down smash has smaller hitboxes and deals half the damage. Forward air was changed to the 3.6 iteration of it. She's also less actionable out of dash grab. And the final change I want to discuss is what they did to ledges. Well, some of you might be asking, what's the big deal? Characters will lose all ledge intangibility frames when performing an aerial or special out of ledge jump. This is actually a major change to how characters interact on the ledge because it's nerfing characters with strong ledge options essentially. So let's say you do Marth's Fair from the ledge. You will lose the intangibility from this move. You do Wolf's Laser from ledge. You get the point. We're going to have to see how this affects the meta because it's speculated to nerf characters indirectly while slightly buffing characters that use more unconventional ways of recovering on ledge, like using float, for example, while other characters clearly have their best options nerfed. And more importantly, there was a change to PM's physics engine. This was a major white whale to the modding community. Wave dashes no longer require one frame of being airborne, Characters can now even fast fall immediately once their descent starts, and characters will no longer experience an extra frame of landing. And this would be the white whale of the modding community for years and has actually been achieved by HDR and now Project Plus. But anyways, that is Project Plus 3.0. I know a lot of characters did get nerfed, but I think people will get over it over time. It's going to be interesting to see where they go in the future with some of these characters. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. There's a Patreon down below if you guys want to support the channel. Seriously, thank you so much.